Hey, how's it going? This is Kenny with Keller Williams Realty. Thanks for checking me out. This is my weekly video, and hope everybody's having a great week. This week, I want to talk a little bit about appraisals and just something that I was thinking about as far as how sometimes that don't make sense. So just to back up, what is an appraisal? So an appraisal is an appraiser's appraisal of the value of a home. So that's their assessment of the current market value of a home, and they go, take their own classes. They're not real estate agents. They're not investors. They're not whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this is separate from anything else that they do. They're uniquely qualified to tell you, what it is, and so a real estate agent, they look at comps and get a pretty good idea and everything like that, and are in tune with the market, and usually hit it pretty close to the mark. But the appraisals go out there, the appraisers go out there with a fine tooth comb and come back with the value that the what can be relied on. Why is this important? So you want to know um, what the house is worth. Specifically, the lender wants to know what the house is worth because they're going to lend money based on whatever that appraisal amount comes back to. So that's the biggest deal about an appraisal. Although it's important, um, it's closely related to what the lender is going to lend. So um, and here's the thing. So with the appraisers are very much independent. Their opinion is not supposed to be swayed by anybody. They do their own assessment. You don't talk to them or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they do their thing. You don't come up with their numbers, you know, kind of on their own, and with their own methodology and their own training and all of this kind of stuff. But when they go, the thing that I kind of find strange, or overly convenient or whatever, is that frequently they'll land on the same number. Most of the time, actually, they'll land on the same number, whatever the offer price is. So if you're offering 270 for a house, it just so happens that they're going to land on 270 most of the time. In other words, to me, and this is my opinion. In other words, to me, it's saying, hey, yeah, that's a fair price. That's a fair price. But what I would almost rather see them do is to say, hey, we don't want to know what your offer amount is. We see what's on the market. We saw what sold. If we need to take a walk through the property, we're going to crawl under the property. We're going to get in the attic. We're going to do whatever we need to do. We're going to do market research, whatever we need to do. And we're going to come up with our own independent number. And we don't know what y'all offered. But a lot of times it comes back to exactly that same amount. So I'm like, of all the numbers y'all could have picked, and we picked the number. You know what I'm saying? We picked the number to offer. And how did you guys come exactly back with that same number? You know what I'm saying? I would almost like it to be more independent. But I guess it just helps the process a lot, where, because say if the appraisal number and the offer number is different, then the buyer and seller have to work that out. The appraisal contingency that a buyer has enables them to walk away at that point if the home value, if the appraisal value comes in under the value that what they offered. So I guess it's just to make the process move smoother. But you have someone with unique credentials, and you have someone that is supposed to go out there providing the service. You don't necessarily want a yes man. You want, hey, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking to you for whatever the number is. We came up with what we came up with. This person came up with it, what they came up with. You look online, Zillow got what they got, but and this person is paid, like, somewhere around $500 to go do the whole thing, and for you to come back with exactly the number I got is like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And not to say it's not always rocket science. You're looking at properties that sold, properties on the market, or whatever. You come up with a number. But for me, a lot of time it's in a range. Okay, you could expect, Mr. Seller, put your home on the market based on what's going on. From 230 to 250, somewhere in there, would be a good range. In this market, I don't really hold them back. So you want to go 250, 260, you probably might get it. You know what I'm saying? So, but those are kind of the conversations. It's never a definite number. It's 227, 557, and 50 cents. Like, doesn't quite work like that. It's kind of a moving target, and it's a little bit about how you feel. What market what price do you want to put on the market, and then what are people going to come back with? What are people going to offer on that? How do they feel about it? You know, so for the appraiser to often hit um, that offer amount, whatever the amount that's offered, I don't even know if they should know what the amount offered is. They should just get kind of their information, and then come back with whatever they think. Like, because that's what I want to know. I'm like, who cares what I think? I want to know what you think, Mr. Appraiser. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're paying you for. But and if there's any appraisers watching, or anybody knows an appraiser, feel free to have them comment, and kind of explain that process and how that works. But for them often to land on the exact number that's offered, it's a little bit too convenient. It actually helps the process. If you land on it, there's no negotiation needed or whatever. But I don't think it's necessarily their job to help the process, and I don't think they should really care about the process. About, hey, am I gonna make it easy for everyone to just move forward? You know what I'm saying? You tell us what it's worth, and we'll figure out the rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. If you have any thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comments. But that's just that's just kind of that's just kind of my thoughts on it, and just seeing that over and over. I'm like, listen, I could come up with those numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, not to say that they're not highly skilled and everything like that. And sometimes, like, the theory and the practice. When practice, I guess, it just kind of comes back. And if it's maybe within the range that they come up with, and your offer amount is right there, they say, okay, well, that sounds pretty good, or something like that. But you know, that was just kind of my thoughts on it. Anyways, that's all for this week. Thanks for tuning in and checking me out. Continue to tune in and check me out every week, every Wednesday. And everybody have a great day. Have a great week.